All right, so this is the object that we're working with in the first lab. We're going to use a Vernier Caliper in order to find the diameter of this. Recognize that we'll be using the metric units down here, and each of these small little marks along here is 0.05 millimeters. So presumably you've seen the other video where we actually do that, where you learn how to use that. So let me pause it while I get the first one set up. All right, so I have it clamped on there, and as we're looking at it, the diameter, having difficulty focusing, there we go. Diameter is somewhere around 16 millimeters, because this is a millimeter scale, as you can see right there, millimeters. And so it looks like it's really close to the 16 mark, so probably the lineup is going to be somewhere around here. And so you can decide which of those lines up the best. I'm going to pause while I get set up for the circumference measurement. I wrap the tape around the cylinder. And then I made a mark here in pin at the point where the top part of the tape was first on the cylinder. And then I'm going to unwind it. So I unwound it. I made sure that the top part of the tape is, on a mark right there. So, that's sort of my 0. And then the other mark, there it is. There's the other mark right there. And so it gives you an idea of the circumference, and you need to estimate down to the nearest 1/10 of a millimeter. Recognize that the numbers here represent centimeters, and so the millimeters are the finer tuned marks. But there is, the mark I made on the tape is right there. Now, some things to worry about is that if I stretch this is, ideally masking tape would be used, but I don't have the masking tape here. There's also a wrinkle there, which might throw it off. And it's also, is it parallel here, and was it parallel on that to the edges? And those are things to keep in mind as you're doing this. There we go. So was the tape parallel to the edges on here, and is the tape parallel to the edges on here? And so that's going to bring up some of the variation that we're going to be seeing. All right. Yeah, it's only so close I can zoom. After this, I'm just going to do a series of pictures. We need to find the mass of it. So first thing is we need to make sure that the balance is lined up, and it's not, so we need to reorient that. So I'm going to put this on pause while I set that up. All right, so now it looks lined up to me. And so there is the offset. We have the back one and the middle one, which are set on 0, and this one is not. And so you want to go out to the 100th of a gram there. That 1 that you're seeing represents 1 gram. And so we are between 0.3 and 0.4 grams, so you'll need to do the estimated digit there. All right, so now we're going to put this onto the balance. We want to center that as best as possible, and now we'll figure out what the mass is. So I'm going to put this on pause while I do that. So that's looking lined up again, and with that on there, the mass, the back one, hopefully you can see that, that is on 30, and this one, well, focus up. There we go. So you're looking to see where the bottom of the widow's peak is pointing, and so you do need to get to the estimated digit there. The next thing is to measure the height of it, and so I'm going to pause this. So we have the micrometer here, and we need to first figure, in a sense, zero it. We can't really set it to 0. I've tried, and it doesn't really work particularly well. And so we are looking to see where the line, there's a tiny little line right there. See how well I can focus that? I can't. I know you want to see where that line hits over here. Now, because we are on the other side of 0, this represents negative 0.05 millimeters. And so that would be negative 0.02. It's between negative 0.02 and negative 0.03 millimeters. And so you do need to do the estimated digit, the thousandth of a millimeter, or the micron, or micrometer. All right, so that's the offset there. And so now we're going to measure the height of that thing. So let me pause it while I set up. All right, so we have it set up here, and we are somewhere after 21 millimeters. So those numbers up there represent millimeters. The ones down below, the hash marks in between, are half millimeters. So we're definitely past 21 millimeters, not quite to 21.5. As a matter of fact, we're somewhere between 21.25 millimeters and 21.26 millimeters, and you'll need to do the estimated digit for this first one. And after this, I've gone through the sampling of at least one round of it, and then after this, I'm just going to take still shots, and so those should be the still shots for the next 9 times. All right, so I'm going to stop this, and you should be seeing pictures next.